Hey everybody, welcome back. Isaac, we've been winning games, complaining and winning games. It's, Lord forgive me, but I'm back to the old me, regular Kane. As we go to Blue Baby, I believe that is, Blue Baby. We're on what? Well, 3 wins in a row, holy crap, I'm like almost good. I'm still like, look, that was yesterday when I recorded that episode. You might say, NL, you still upset, you still mad, like a little crybaby. A little bit. Only because, like, literally until the end of the game, we got lower DPS than when we started, okay? And I think that I have a right to complain about that, okay? Let me speak to your manager. Help me. Could have gone worse. Ooh, thanks for the stats. Hold on, that's a temperance card? Like, a lot of people would tell you this is not worth it. I'm not a lot of people, I'm just one guy. I'm just, like, literally a normal dude. Anyway, I'm willing to do what needs to be done, okay? But it would go a long way for me, personally, as a human being, if we had, like, a run today. I'm not saying you need to give me greatness, okay? I'm not saying you need to give me Cricket's Head. Alright? I'm simply saying, if I could get, like, I honestly would be fine if you gave me, like, a damage upgrade by the time that we got to the Depths one. 1 damage upgrade is not a lot to ask. I'd settle for several tiers upgrades, or let's say several's a bit much. Let's say a couple. Then that's all you need to say, man. That's all you need to do to get me to back in your corner, is just, you know, don't give me a bunch of stuff that has no purpose, no merit whatsoever, and instead just give me some. Okay, look, we're not gonna start like that, even though we already did. Okay, if you could just get into the fire, please. You piece, you even extinguished my fire. Very not cool. Alas, you're gonna blow yourself up. Why am I sweating it, man? Why am I one more shot, you're toast. Thank you so much. That's very nice. Okay, increases tier size. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but no complaints. Many people would probably tell you that the right thing to do, there is no bomb for sale, the right thing to do is to just play the spikes instead of what I'm doing right now, which is playing the temperance card instead. Those people or playing the blood bank, although it was via temperance card. Let's avoid the confusion, right? Sticky nickel, unfortunately. We're like 1 bomb away from pure greatness on this floor. I don't mind spending 3. Thank you. But we don't have to spend 3 yet. I'm just 1 bomb, man. 1 bomb makes this whole thing come together. We could even blow up our temperance, our blood bank if it's not working out that well for us. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I guess I'm just trying to bootstrap a second arcade. I think it's tough. I think that long term, we will be happier to have... I'm willing to do this. I think we will be happier to have the current trinket than this child's heart. But it brings me no great pleasure. Let's go! It brings me an insane amount of pleasure. We've actually done it. I'm stunned. We're at the perfect amount here. I was ready to go. Okay, that's a big moment. Regardless, it is a Monday. Hope you're doing well. Baby's feeling A-okay 100%. Dropped her off at daycare today, so now I got this nice afternoon window to very leisurely record a couple of episodes of whatever. Very nice. It feels good to have that time back. Last week we were getting a little bit not stressed out, but you know, run a little ragged with the chores required in life. Feels nice to have a little, not even breathing space, but like even if you do the same amount of stuff, it's always just nice to have a little extra like cushion on the side. You know what I mean? I get that it's not the best phrasing, but you understand where I'm getting at. Only good pills. Thank you so much. Shot speed, arguably the best stat in the game, said nobody ever. So I'm in a better mood. I'm feeling good. We are, I mean, I know that this is becoming like... It seems like I complain about the weather a lot, I am getting older is one of the things, but legitimately, I'm more just like, it's been an apocalyptic sort of season / year for weather in Vancouver, man. Like, I don't know if you saw, but we got like barges are getting swept out of the Pacific Ocean onto our beaches because the rain and the wind is so strong. It's not something you're used to seeing, just like riding your bike along the seawall and then like a barge almost crashes into you. That didn't happen to me, but I saw a clip. I saw a clip of it. Pretty unusual. You know, whole towns are underwater and being evacuated. And then, like, you know, on top of that, like, complete highways have been washed away. Like, it's pretty wild. We're kind of spared the worst of it in Vancouver. There's been, like, a little flooding, but not where I live. So, like, it's not too bad. But, man, it's just... Everybody, I just hope you're ashamed of your words and your deeds. That's all I'm going to say. Because I was like, oh, it rains too much. People were like, oh, I love the rain. I love the rain. Give me some rain. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, yeah? You still feeling like you want some of this rain? Sorry, we didn't know. I'm like, it's okay. You know, you don't have to apologize. It's not as if your comments about it had anything to do with the actual, you know, manifestation of the weather to begin with. I wouldn't want to make you feel guilty about that for no reason. It really doesn't make any sense. But either way, you know, just think twice next time, okay? It's a hard one to get. So we have IV bag now, which is fine. I don't dislike it. We have a lot of money. That's pretty solid. Deep pockets, sure. Deep pockets probably pays for itself pretty quick. I gotta be honest with you. I feel like maybe we're freaking cruising with the coin or the mom's bottle of pills, right? Like, we gotta be cruising. I don't see how we couldn't be cruising with this item. Anyway, we're going to Blue Baby. Oh, dude, this is a dream run right now. I'm not afraid to say it. This could be a wonderful time. I actually think you can probably take a deal with the devil, maybe even just for precedent, if we're lucky enough to not get hit at the end of this fight, which is probably likely, like that we're going to be safe. I'm not trying to undersell it. I think you at least look... Sorry, I'm going to take the boring way because, admittedly, we could have taken Succubus as well. However, I was just a little scared. That was my James Bond music, by the way. So that's good. I think the game... you know what, game? Apology accepted. How does that sound? Apology accepted. And you know what, Planet Earth? Apology accepted for, like, all this BS weather and stuff. Like... Now that you've manifested your machinations in such mysterious ways, I'm no longer upset. If all those cities had to get, like, rained so hard they had to call in the National Guard just so that I could get Mom's knife. Okay, hold on. My manager's saying don't finish that sentence. Okay. What I was gonna say is it's definitely not worth it, you piece. Take this and shove it. Okay, let's go check out that curse room. Obviously, it's not worth it. Come on. But it is nice to have Mom's knife. I'm not denying that either. I mean, I'm only human after all, as Imagine Dragons says. Anyway, I'm doing well. You know, thank you for asking, even though you didn't. Super Auto Pet's going well. Had a great stream today. Play some unpacking, some Canadian Bassmaster with Mouth and Sips. Good week of streams coming up. I feel like I'm getting back to, like, routine life, and I'm not like since the birth of the baby, but like we're getting back to this new normal of her being in daycare, which is like I'm a creature of habit. I'm a creature of routine. I can live with, you know, my routine being upended. It just kind of makes me into an a-hole. Like I don't know if that's something that most people would admit. I fully acknowledge, like, I am... In many ways, I am the master of my own emotions. But every once in a while, there's like a little, like, Dexter-style, like, dark passenger that crawls inside of my brain and is like, hey, just be, like, really bitingly passive-aggressive. And then, like, you know, just try that on for size. And I genuinely, it feels like when I switch into that mode, it's very, it takes an interrupt for me to not make like some kind of comment about it. Did I just lose perfection already? And when my routine gets interrupted, you know, when I feel like I don't have the time to do the things that I normally want to do when I would normally do them, that's where I'm like, oh, really? That should only take a second then. And it's a bad habit, but it's also one that, I mean, the first step of any problem, I guess, is acknowledging that it's a problem. That's it. If anything, that's not our secret room. I'm stunned. If anything, there's like, this is how I finally understand like what Uncle Ben was talking about when he said with great power comes great responsibility. For whatever reason, positive or negative, I have been imbued with the ability to like make very sardonic, biting comments. And I'm not saying I'm the wittiest person in the world. I'm not saying I'm the funniest person in the world or the smartest person in the world. All I'm saying is that every once in a while, when I'm irritated, my brain is like, here's a comment that would absolutely own this person in this situation. And then I usually don't take like the first or second opportunity to say it because I've learned my lesson over the years. You know, that it's genuinely not worth it. Like, it's a very juvenile way to look at the world, is like, you know, oh, if somebody like wrongs you in any even slight way, then come back with like the full arsenal of you know, your nuclear weapons. Instead, you just let it roll off. But then like maybe they don't even know they're doing it, but like 3 comments later, I'm like, yeah, well, at least my favorite cheese is an American. And then like people are like, whoa, why'd you go on it? Why'd you go so, you went for his jugular? For what purpose? And I'm like, well, you know, it's the dark passenger. That's like, when something like that pops into my head, sometimes it's just a matter of time till it gets out there. I can resist the impulse, and I've successfully avoided it in some situations, but on a long enough time scale, the owns are getting out there. So, you know, I'm working on it or whatever. But I'm happy. It's more of a way of just illustrating that, you know, my routine's been a little out of whack for, yeah, I don't know, 14 months or something like that. But it's getting back to a stable place. There will be bumps in the road, but, you know, it feels good. It just feels good when you're, like, in a rhythm, you know what I mean? Like, when you're playing Guitar Hero and you're not even thinking about the notes. That's where I long to be, in that flow state. As soon as you start to think about the notes, like, hey, what does this sound like in my head again? Like at the start of Red Barchetta, when Neil Peart hits the hi-hat like 17 times, is it tum, or is it or am I just gonna wing it, you know? It's better to just take the note highway as it lies, you know? Life is a note highway, and I'm gonna ride it all night long. Anyway, that's about all I got. I don't really have much in the way of anecdotes. Did I tell you? Well, yeah, I told you for hours about Shang-Chi, right? Which I really can't stop saying Shang, even though I called it Shang for so long. Now it's like my brain has fully cemented the wrong pronunciation. But I digress. We don't need to talk about it, because that's water under the bridge, man. Can I ask about Aquafina? Not the water brand, but the actress, who, as I understand, by the way, has, you know, she's not everybody's cup of tea. I got nothing against her, and she's in The Farewell, which I haven't seen, but I heard is incredible. So I'm not knocking Aquafina, but is there like some is there a farm team for Hollywood where we can see actors and actresses who you know, haven't quite made the big leagues yet, but will be inescapable in their presence like 5 years from now? The answer to that might be YouTube, by the way. But regardless, because I feel like I didn't know who Aquafina was at all, and then like a couple of years ago, I found out, and then she's in everything. I'm happy for her. I was gonna say I'm not upset, but like, I'm genuinely happy for her. But like, I'm just waiting for the tweet from like the US government that's like, thank you for tuning in. Aquafina was like an experiment run by the CIA between the years 2015 and 2021. She was a shared delusion created by like microwave radiation zapped into the low-lying atmosphere by the CIA. Please, you know, thank you for the memories, but like, I'm not trying to say she's an alien. I'm trying to say the fact that she, I mean, I feel like maybe I'm the only person doing my own research, I guess is what I'm saying, because she popped out of nowhere, from my perspective, and then she's everywhere, and nobody's questioning it. And that just seems a little suspicious to me. Not really, I'm sure that, I mean, I'm not following the trades, like I don't read the weeklies in Variety, so I'm sure maybe she had what appears to be a meteoric rise to the outside observer, is actually the result of a lot of hard work and consistent dedication behind the scenes for many years. But that doesn't fit into my narrative where I'm the only person who's got this whole nutshell figured out. So I choose to ignore it and substitute my own reasoning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to walk into that and get hit for no reason. It's happened before. Like, honestly, I don't think that Josh Gad is a real guy. You know, he's in Murder on the Orient Express. He's in the Beauty and the Beast live-action movie. I'm sure he's in lots of other stuff. I don't know if he's in the Minion movies, but I have to imagine, is Josh Gad in Minions? Like, okay, Minions cast. Let me just check here, okay? Do I see Josh Gad? I have to admit, you know what? Josh Gad Minions. I don't, you know what? Okay, Josh Gad is in Despicable Me 3. I apologize. It's not a Minions movie. It is in the Minions universe. There are Minions in it, but I didn't, people are going to be like, wow, that's amazing. How did you guess that? I didn't guess that. I just know that despite having never known it. There's no way that Josh Gad was not in one of the Minions movies. Regardless, I don't think Josh Gad is a guy. I think Josh Gad is a robot that Hollywood activates whenever, like, someone drops out of a picture at the last minute. They go, oh my god, you know, like, Ed Helms left our movie at the last second and James Corden's unavailable. He's stuck in traffic right now doing carpool karaoke. By the way, while we're here, what if they did extreme carpool karaoke? Like, what if they combined Ice Road Truckers with carpool karaoke? And you got, like, you know, grizzled old hauling veterans trying to sing Ariana Grande while they drive up the Coca-Cola? Like, that's a show I would actually watch. Never because I have taste and things to do, but just like I would be more likely to watch it than either of the shows as they exist in their current format. Either way, I think Josh Gad is an android automaton that when somebody drops out of your movie and the producers are scrambling, they say, don't worry, we'll just activate one of our Josh Gads, and, you know, that's how he's in 17 movies a year, is because there's actually like 15 Josh Gad Mark IV prototypes out there that have the exact sort of mixture you're looking for a Josh Gad type character, which is like a little bit of a sardonic but also huggable everyman with a lot of charisma. You know what I mean? He's like a perfect best friend character for a movie. He's also, I think he could definitely work as the smarmy boss that you're trying to get out from under the thumb of if you work at like a greeting card factory. Maybe this could be a Zooey Deschanel type movie. You could get some stuff working there is all I'm saying. So my conspiracy theory now is that Aquafina is not real. She's a shared hallucination created by CIA technology. Josh Gad is a robot / mannequin that lives in Steven Spielberg's basement, and they plug him in when they need him to do like a musical number to make the main character look good. Now, I don't stand by any of these. I mean no personal offense to the real human beings that Josh Gad and Aquafina are. I'm merely having jokes for humor-based purposes. Any similarity to people living or dead is entirely coincidental, even if I use their names. Your safety is not guaranteed, no copyright infringement intended, etc., etc., etc. So can I say this run's still very good? There's no but coming after that. It's actually like it's just very good. By the way, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't know who Josh Gad is, I implore you to take maybe 5 seconds right now to just type his 7-letter name into Google. And when you see his face, you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy, he's in everything. I'm sorry to Gad post. I got nothing against Josh Gad, by the way. James Corden, yeah, like I do not like the content that James Corden makes. Now, I did see him in a British movie that also starred the lead singer of Maroon 5 for a little bit. It would blow your mind, but like that movie, maybe Maroon 5 was just on the soundtrack. Now that I think about it, common misconception. I think he's in the movie for a bit. Anyway, long story short, that movie, believe it or not, is good. You know, that James Corden is good in that movie, but I just like, I don't know. Without being too much of a curmudgeon, like I said, I'm in a good mood. But does anybody think that the kind of content that James Corden makes, where he invites celebrities on to just, you know, sing Disney songs from our childhood and mine the twin serpents simultaneously of uncritical nostalgia and celebrity worship all at the same time is emblematic of the worst base impulses that we as a society are trending towards in a media culture that increasingly glorifies 15-second videos of immediate gratification, or just me. I'm not saying late night was ever like the height of, you know, cerebral comedy, but like there's some Conan bits that are a little bit more humorous than like, hey, we got Jennifer Lopez to sing a song that you remember from your childhood was originally done by Julie Andrews, and guess what? Julie Andrews is gonna come, she's gonna pop out of the shadows and sing the second verse. I know, tears, literal tears. The James Corden moment from last night that broke the internet, or at least like the pocket of it where your aunts are talking to each other. This is needlessly rude, but I'm kind of like, I'm in the zone now. I don't mean to go off on a rant or anything. I'm just saying. I have nothing against James Corden as a human being. I know nothing about him. I just don't like his content. And, you know, I resent that he's taken over YouTube because, you know, I don't go set up a little desk and go, hey, today we're going to have a celebrity on and ask them no real questions. Instead, they're going to tell some kind of fake story about how they were buying lettuce at the grocery store. And wouldn't you know it, I got iceberg. My wife said, what are you doing? We needed romaine. My God, they're just like us. They're so relatable. By the way, a new movie comes out tomorrow. We're laughing like old friends, but we've never met before. Like that's, I don't do that, okay? So why don't you stay off YouTube? Or don't, but like, just be less popular somehow. I don't know if you can control that. I guess there's not too much of an overlap in between my audience and James Corden. I'm not trying to say if you like James Corden, like, screw you, you know? No, not screw you, we just have different tastes, and that's fine. As long as you're the one watching James Corden and I'm the one not, then, like, we got nothing to concern ourselves with as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so dude, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started, dude. Don't even get me started on all the other late night hosts. Why are there so many Jimmys on late night? I mean, it's like, if you made me choose, am I gonna watch Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, or James Corden? I don't know the answer. I would have to, can I level with you? If I'm being sincere, and I hate myself for saying this to an extent, I think I would probably watch Jimmy Fallon. I don't know what this pheromones pill is going to do for us. Like, I think the consensus answer will probably be Jimmy Kimmel, but like, I just don't find it. I don't know, I find Jimmy Kimmel kind of bland and disingenuous. I guess. It's kind of like the rudest thing I've said to someone I've never met, you know, ever, but like, you know, I just find him kind of I find he's like a tabula rasa, right? Like he's like a blank slate. Like I couldn't tell you one personality trait of Jimmy Kimmel. I couldn't. And I watched him all the way back on, you know, Win Ben Stein's Money when he was like a, you know, affable sort of like blue-collar everyman. Then he went to the Man Show and he was kind of, you know, like a chauvinist. But that was the culture of the television program back then. And now he's just sort of like a guy that wears a suit. I don't really get it. At least, like, Jimmy Kimmel, like, I don't like him as a host. But I do get the vibe, at least, on his show that he's, like, that his main sin is just genuinely a low level of self-awareness and having too much fun with his guests. But then again, I just realized, oh man, that Jimmy Kimmel, so many of those Jimmy Kimmel clips are not even carpool karaoke. It's like celebrity lip sync challenge. Is it possible that you could just kill me instead? So your choice is carpool karaoke, celebrity lip sync challenge, or I'm frickin' Matt Damon, Jimmy Kimmel, kids get their Halloween candy stolen by their parents for the 17th year in a row prank. Jeez, man, I don't know. Why don't you just give me a little bit, replace one of my crowns with like a cyanide pill or something like that? That's too dramatic. I would probably just go with maybe Jimmy Kimmel then, but I would... Yeah, I'd probably rather just watch like a couple of hours of Jimmy Kimmel than be dead, I guess. But if you're gonna twist my arm, I guess I'd rather watch a little bit of television that is like lightly amusing, but doesn't align fully with like my self-ordained values, and as a result, I have to pretend that it's not only devoid of merit, but so valueless as to actually be deleterious to society overall. Okay, I guess you got me or whatever. Congrats or whatever. Oh, thank you. I guess it's not really that big of a deal. Like, what you watch on TV doesn't constitute 100% of your personality or whatever, so you got me. Best late night hosts that I lived through, like my contemporaneous era, I genuinely think the answer is Conan. The enlightened choice is Craig Ferguson, who was also an incredible interviewer and had a great personality of almost being like, you know, too casual for late night, which was a great fit. But he was, you know, it's like he didn't want to do it forever, so he got out while the getting was good. I got nothing but respect for that. Conan, for doing it for so long, I think he did it. He was remarkably good for most of that. And the remotes are so funny. Anyway. Like, maybe if James Corden went to, like, you know, a South Korean jjimjilbang with, I don't know, a Dina Menzel or whatever, then I would see, like, a shred of personality. But them just, like, you know, singing the songs from Aladdin in the middle of a busy Los Angeles intersection just kind of ticks me off. Like, I'm being 100% sincere with you. If I were driving in Los Angeles, even as a tourist, which I would be because I would never live there, no offense, Hassan, if I got stopped at an intersection, even if it was a red light, I would be more annoyed by the presence of James Corden, Josh Gad, and Christian Chenoweth singing A Whole New World than I would be to just stare at the concrete. Like, it's a public street. I'm not trying to say they, like, can't do it, but, like, at this... I know you're like, if you saw that in real life, you'd be like, whoa, that's cool. I would... If it was, like, a middle school production, I would be like, oh, good for them. But when I saw it's James Corden, I would be like, move, please. I have places to be. James, please. Yes, I know, A Whole New World. Don't you dare close your eyes. You're dressed up as the monkey. Congratulations. That's very self-aware and goofy of you, please. I'm surprising myself at the depths of my sarcasticness right now. I don't even really have that much of a problem with James Corden, but it's just pouring out of me like Salieri, man. You see, this is an interesting episode in the annals of the lore, because the self-fulfilling prophecy is coming true, right? Like, I talked about how I can't resist saying some biting stuff when it feels like apropos. And I'm there now. Like, once I started digging myself down this hole, I'm like full on. Like, I feel like right now I'm the main character, the titular. Well, he's not titular, I guess, but I'm the narrator in the third act of Dostoevsky's classic snooze fest, Notes from Underground. Like, I'm just like someone mildly insulted me, and I'm like, you think you're special? Well, guess what? You know, now it's the roast of, I got spittle flying out of my mouth. People are like, dude, just be cool. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, it is that big of a deal. Carpool karaoke? I spit on it. Carpool karaoke. I spit on it. Anyway. Big ups. This might be one of the first episodes where we have a book reference. I'm not very well read outside of Graham and Dodd's security analysis, so you know, always nice to sneak it in there when you get a chance. Remember that period in like 2018 when I read like 5 books? That was kind of sick. That was a good time. I read Brave New World. I remember I read Old Man and the Sea. I read The Handmaid's Tale. I read Slaughterhouse-5. I liked them all, by the way. The only one I didn't really like was Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground. I was like, this is boring as sin, but I acknowledge maybe I'm literally just incapable of understanding it. I mean, it was in the original Russian. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!